And we welcome in two of the biggest and brightest stars on the PGA Tour. Say hello to Tony Finau and Cameron Champ. Guys, unprecedented time in the world right now for sure. So hope you guys are staying safe. You were supposed to be teammates this week in the Zurich Classic. That would have been some kind of scene. What's your favorite part of team golf? Cameron, you go first.
It's just a different atmosphere. We don't get to play it very often. Besides school, and college is really the only team golf we have, and throughout the schedule, it's really the only team golf we have besides guys that make the Ryder Cup or President's Cup, in the team event. So it's kind of like I said, a bummer we weren't able to team up this year. Hopefully next year, but it's definitely something that I'm looking forward to.
I'll just jump right in. I love team golf. Played on the Ryder Cup and the President's Cup, but I was so looking forward to teaming it up with Cameron and playing this week. He's an amazing talent, and the legend of how far he hits the golf ball, you can't speak enough about. So I was really looking forward to teaming it with him and just seeing him send it. Reminds me of an old me a little bit. But I think my favorite thing about team golf is just having a partner, having someone to lean on, and having that team aspect be the case. We're so used to playing individual golf. I enjoy having a partner and just kind of everything that entails.
Cam, even though you guys were going to be partners, were you going to let Tony know about it when you put it about 20 past him?
No,
30.
I don't. No, no, no,
30?
no. It is. Hey, you can hit it far, but you still got to do the rest good. So it's definitely a good advantage. But like you said, you still got to get the ball in the hole.
Let's touch on some serious questions. The PGA Tour, guys, is scheduled to come back June 11th at Colonial. Tony, you go first, and Cam just jump right in. Are you guys planning to play in that event right now, the Charles Schwab Challenge?
Yeah, no question. By that point, I'm already itching to get back to competition. But for sure, by that point, with all this quarantine happening, I'll be more than ready to play and compete. So I am going to be playing in Colonial, and I've actually out of the final 13 events of the season, I'm planning on playing 10 of them so far in my schedule.
Wow.
So I've got a lot of golf to be played, but the way I look at it, I'd have it no other way. With all this quarantine happening, I'll be more than ready to compete.
Yeah, and same here. I'll be ready to go. Schedule's going to be pretty much the same. It's going to be a lot of golf to finish out the year. But like I said, I'm itching to get back. Same as Tony. This will probably be the longest break for a very long time, just about for all of us. So it'll be nice to get back and get into the swing of things, playing golf, and like I said, just enjoying the game.
Well, you both are giving the green light to the first event. I got to ask you, is there anything you need to see happen between now and then that will make you 100% comfortable that it's going to be safe to play in that event? Cam?
Yeah, I mean, still the same precautions. I know I've seen articles about the testing. Like I said, just to be cautious with everything going on. I know there'll be no fans for the first few events. It'll be limited to who can come. So, as long as it's a safe environment for us to play, there's with golf, we're kind of lucky in that aspect that there's not a lot of contact. We're outside sports, so it's not like we're really close to one another, whether it be basketball in arenas with that many people or football or baseball, everyone being close. So, as long as the right precautions are taken and everyone feels comfortable, I think, it'll make all the players feel comfortable enough to want to play.
Yeah, I agree with that. Safety is of the utmost importance, and I think the PGA Tour has to take those type of precautions. I love that they've come out with a schedule and have given us an insight of what they're thinking could be our schedule. Hopefully that's the case, but I think they're gonna take the precautionary measures that they need to take in order for us to perform. I think there's so many questions to be answered at this point, still a lot of uncertainty, but I know that they have our safety at the top of their list. And whenever we get back out there and play, I support the PGA Tour and what they're doing.
Well, you guys got me fired up. Now I'm excited. I mean, fingers crossed all the way around. Cam, you brought up the idea that the first four events will not have spectators, won't have fans. How will that impact the golf from the players' point of view?
It will definitely be different. Without fans, you probably won't get the huge excitement, like you said, if you're playing well and, you're coming down the stretch. Obviously, there's going to be no one there really cheering you on. So it's just going to be between you and, your competitors. So definitely be a little bit different environment for the first few events. But like you said, we'll all adjust to it. We'll just embrace it, like you said, with everything that's going on. As long as everything goes well and we're able to play again, I think that's all we're trying to look forward to. And just, like I said, embrace it.
Tony, similar question for you, except take it to the Ryder Cup. We've heard from some Europeans and some Americans on playing in that event without fans. Should we get to that point at Whistling Straits? You've played on a President's Cup. You've played on a Ryder Cup. Can you imagine playing in the Ryder Cup and not having fans there?
I don't think I can imagine it personally. Playing in my first Ryder Cup, I believe the fans is what made the experience what it was for me. When I went to the opening ceremony in Paris in 2018, it hit me that I was involved in something way more special in golf that I've ever been involved in before. And it was because of those thousands of fans cheering, chanting, singing. I knew I was involved in something special. I was able to hit the inaugural first tee shot of the 2018 Ryder Cup. And again, the electricity, the atmosphere with the fans, it's hard to describe and hard to explain, but I believe that's what makes the Ryder Cup. If you were to play the Ryder Cup with no fans, I don't think it'd be the same. The energy wouldn't be there as much, and just the electricity that surrounds the golf course with the roars, the singing. So much of the history of the game is the Ryder Cup and the fans involved in the Ryder Cup. It wouldn't be the same. So I would have to say that the Ryder Cup has to be played with fans. And, obviously, I'm not saying I wouldn't play if I was on that team, but the fans make up a huge part of the Ryder Cup and have to be a part of that experience.
Nobody would dispute that, Tony. It's interesting. You brought up the Ryder Cup, and you knew you were at a special moment. Cam, I'll start with you. Both guys answer. Can you think about how important that June 11th Charles Schwab Challenge could be for this country? Golf might be the first sport back. We don't know that at this point. Other sports could come back first, but it might be the first back. Even with no fans, it would be on television, serving as that distraction for a healing nation. Cam, have you thought about how important that event could be to be the first back?
No, definitely. Like I said, it's a stepping stone in just making progress, through everything that's going on. Like Tony said, the fans, it makes tournaments, it makes events. You get nervous, you have the adrenaline going through you. But like you said, with everything going on, it's a big stepping stone to, create the processes to make sure it's safe for all sports. Like I said, with us, we're lucky enough that it's an outside sport. Not as much contact, but it's, for us, if we can get back going and, like you said, have the right precautions, everyone be careful, and just get back playing, it'll just help all the other sports progress with it.
Yeah, I think it'd be amazing for the game of golf to carry that torch as the first sport to be played and televised. Uh, I'm a huge sports fan. I enjoy watching all types of sports: baseball, basketball, football, volleyball, tennis, you name it. And right now, I'm itching to watch anything live. I'd watch two grown men play badminton right now and just compete. So to have the potential of all eyes being on golf and potentially at Colonial, a special place, I think would be amazing for our game and would definitely grow our viewership. So hopefully that's the case. Hopefully we get to tee it up that second week of June, and I'm looking forward to it no matter what, no matter who's watching or who's not watching. I'll just be back. I'll be very excited to be back and competing.
Fingers crossed for sure, all the way around. Let's assume, guys, that the schedule is this schedule moving forward. Tony, you talked about a very aggressive schedule you have planned, thinking that in the fall we would have the FedEx Cup, the U.S. Open, the Masters, potentially a Ryder Cup. You talked about playing 10 times. Is it just let it go, all systems go, play every week, or part of your mind with those giant events late in the year that you've got to keep some gas in the tank?
Yeah, I think you still have to be precautious to what you know to be true for yourself. I've never wanted to play a big event as my fourth event in a row, so that's still the case for me. But I still have plan on playing a pretty hefty schedule leading up to that, and I think more so just because I miss the competition more than anything else, and I don't think not that I've taken it for granted or anything, but I miss competing. I miss being out there playing and trying to beat the best players in the world. So I'm gonna have that luxury with those 13 weeks, and we're gonna have a lot of amazing golf be played in a short amount of time, and I think more so for me, just looking to get back out and competing against the best players in the world.
Well, it's been a great conversation today. I've really enjoyed catching up with both of you. And you are obviously two reasons why I'm so hopeful about the future, not only in the PGA Tour, but our country's response to this pandemic. Great catching up with you. Stay safe for sure. And let's plan on getting together that second week in June and watching the PGA Tour, watching the world's best. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan. Stay safe, guys.
Thanks.